Hey guys, it's Prometheum5 here with another CollectionDX review for you. Today we have the EZHobi Hyper Gokin 1/10th scale Iron Man Mark III. This is courtesy of Angles, so thanks for sending along a review sample. This is kind of a weird one as Iron Man figures go. This was announced back when the first Iron Man movie came out and sort of just seemed like it was going to be vaporware after that. I mean, the company EZHobi is a Hong Kong company, I believe. They've released some little fixed pose PVC trading figure type things, and then they had some line art for a super detailed Iron Man Mark III suit with die cast and every feature you could think of, and it seemed awfully ambitious, and then it kind of just vanished. So everyone, I think, assumed that it was a dead project until like probably 2 or 3 months ago. It showed up for pre-order on Angles, and I was like, that's weird, I don't think that toy exists. But then they showed it as in stock, and I was like, well, I have to know. So I asked Angles for one because I was a little scared of what I might find. But this is actually kind of a neat figure. There's a ton of features to the actual Iron Man figure, so I'm not going to go through all of that stuff now. That's all going to be in the text and photo review where it's easier to show. But I am going to do a little unboxing here and just show you the contents and some of the basic stuff. Also included with the figure was this Iron Man Eggman minifigure. I'll take a couple photos of that. It's kind of cute if you're into that kind of thing. To start off with, this box is really big for an 8-inch figure. Here's a Glyos guy for scale. There's a ton of stuff in this box besides the actual figure, so let's get to it. The box actually is super nice too. I just want to go for a second talk about the box. It's got really sharp foil printing with technical details and pictures of the different features and all sorts of cool stuff. So I mean, they did a really nice job on this. I just don't know why it took so long. It's weird to have an Iron Man 1 movie figure come out right after Iron Man 3 just debuted, so that's fun. It's got a nice slipcover on the box, and then it's got a the printing on the inside and stuff. It's a sharp packaging. I mean, it weighs a ton. They did a nice job here. The cardboard's real heavy and the printing's sharp, and it's got all full color. So I mean, when they finally got to it, they did make a nice figure. You can see the first layer of contents here. There's more than one set of trays in here, actually. Vacuum form packaging for everything. Iron Man here's this module kind of just comes out, and this is the Iron Man figure. So if all you're looking for is Iron Man, this is it. It's about a third of the contents of the box. Just bring it up kind of close here. There was all plastic and stuff on the Iron Man to keep the paint from getting scratched. So we'll talk about him in a minute. There's a tray here with the stand with a clip type attachment, and there's actually a little packet in here with a nice little booklet for the instructions. Then there's a bag here with a drawstring bag, I think to put the figure in, maybe. Looks like it's got like a wiping cloth or something, like for a computer screen. So they're definitely going for a high-end presentation here. And I mean, as I'll talk about in a minute, the presentation, their figure mostly deserves that. So it's got this cool fold-out packaging with the instruction manual. There's all, a nice note here from the company. It says, "Dear customer, thank you for acquiring this premier work of art from EZHobi Toys for your collection." And then it goes on to tell you about how awesome they are and how cool you are for buying the figure. That's, fine. I'll accept it. It's a pretty ambitious figure, so I'll give them that. The instruction manual's got photos and movie fiction tech details, about his satellite phone and all that nonsense. It's pretty cool, actually. I mean, it looks like the presentation reminds me of the Art of Iron Man book. So they definitely did their homework and put together a nice package. Everything is in Chinese and English, so American customers actually will get something out of this book. It's got, description of the flares and when he uses them and the wrist deflector. It goes through all the different features of the armor. And then the instructions are black and white photos, very much mimicking the Hot Toys style of instructions. So that's, a tried and true style. I found that the images and the text were a little small and unclear. There's a lot of features to the actual figure, and a couple of them are not obvious how they work, and they seem fragile, so you don't want to break anything. So the instructions maybe could have been a little better. They're in a couple languages, and then there's details about the stand and all that. And there's a teaser here for a battle damaged Mark III and an Ironmonger Hyper Gokin. It says full gimmicks prototype Ironmonger. God only knows if that'll actually come out. I'd probably actually check it out if it did, but you know, one step at a time here for these guys. There's another tray in here. There's a Hall of Armor display base that comes flat packed in pieces. So this has all directions about the contents of that. And there's actually quite a few parts to this, and there's a couple compartments to the stuff. This is all plastic and reasonably lightweight. The details look very similar to the Hot Toys Hall of Armor type stands that came with most of their figures, which makes sense because they're both depicting the same thing. Everything's all taped up here, so everything's nice and secure for having a ton of stuff in the box, so I'm not worried about anything getting damaged. There's some bags and stuff here, and then the side panels. This is a great video so far. It's just there's a bewildering amount of stuff in this box for, you know, if all you're looking for is a nice Iron Man figure. But that's cool, you know, extra stuff is fine. This plastic's kind of taped on here. So that's all the box stuff. There's some little parts, some kind of gizmo here. I'm sure there's directions for all this stuff. These are, I believe, all the structural parts of the Hall of Armor, side panel and stuff. So that's fine. I'll put all that stuff together for the review, and I'll see how hard it is. I assume the directions are reasonably clear, but I guess I don't actually know yet. So let's talk about the figure. This is Iron Man. It's got, like I said, a bunch of little plastic pieces, and everything was wrapped initially when I opened the figure up. So here's the figure, and there's a couple sets of hands and an alternate head sculpt. The first thing I noticed is that ankles are a little loose on this guy, which is not good because he seems reasonably fragile. He's got some structural die cast in him that I haven't really been able to identify where it is, but he has a good weight to him. I mean, it's a nice feeling figure. I definitely like what they're going for, and the paint and stuff is cool. The hands all came in little individual bags. There's fists and open repulsor hands, and then kind of relaxed splayed hands. There's a painted head sculpt in here that I'll take close-up photos of for the... Come on. I think I can make it. Oh, jeez. Yeah, so that's what Iron Man does if you're not careful. I'm just trying to get a shot of the head sculpt here, which is a little gnarly. So that's supposed to be Robert Downey Jr. We'll see. The head sculpt's a little iffy, but it looks like they put a lot of work into it. So the shoulder pads do come off. That's by design, so don't panic there. The biggest thing with this figure is just that there's a ton of little features on it, and because the figure's only, you know, 8-9 inch tall, everything's really small and fragile, and you just have to be kind of careful handling this toy. It's not, you know, like a Marvel Legends figure that you can handle real easily, and it's not even as robust as a Hot Toys figure. I think they're a little more durable, but this is a really ambitious figure. So none of that's in focus. I should really. There we go. So what I was saying was, this is an ambitious figure, if nothing else. So that's kind of neat. It's got a lot of. It's got. I don't want to say a lot. It's got all the right details. The movie is the figure, the sculpt is very accurate to the movie, except I think for the head sculpt. The head sculpt is a little weird for the shape of the helmet, so that seems to be something that a lot of companies struggle with. Articulation's pretty good. It's the shoulder pads, like I said, do tend to come off if you over bend the shoulders. I think the pins on that could have been a little longer, but got you know, 90 degrees for the elbows, and nice clicky knees, so that's cool. Probably could have used a couple more clicky joints. Yeah, so there's just, you can see kind of as I'm handling it, there's little bits and bobs everywhere, sort of moving around. There's really too much going on with this figure, and it actually does try to do everything the suit does in the movie. It's got the shoulder missile launchers, it's got the hip countermeasures, it's got all the air brakes in the back and stuff. Everything works, it's just that it is not super tight, so when you're handling the figure, little bits kind of move around all over the place. But like I said, I'll talk about that all in the photos. It's tough to show all that small stuff in video reviews, so there will be a ton of photos. Getting the figure to stand, kind of tough. That's alright. So that's Iron Man. I actually really kind of like this figure. It's super weird. There's too much going on. It's sort of like a high complete model Iron Man, just with sort of a model kit style assembly and everything working, but not necessarily putting a lot of thought into making it work well as a thing you're going to handle. So I don't know. It's neat. It's real pretty. So thanks to Angles for sending this. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on that's too hard to show in the video, so I'll take a bunch of photos and I'll make sure I get to everything. It's really cool, actually. So that's Iron Man Mark III from EZHobi under their Hyper Gokin line. We'll see if they actually manage to release any more, because it's a neat first effort. So I'd like to see them improve on it and learn something from this and do some more cool stuff, because we can always use more Iron Man toys. Thanks to Angles for sending this. I really do like it. It's an interesting figure. It's a bizarre kind of oddity in the Iron Man collecting world, but I'm glad it exists. So this has been Prometheum 5 for CollectionDX with your EZHobi Hyper Gokin 1/10 scale Iron Man Mark III unboxing and kind of review teaser video. I'll put a link to the actual text and photo review in the description below. Like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you like what you see, if you like listening to me ramble about Iron Man without showing you much. Thanks for watching.